If you really want to build your dream life, this is your official warning, because nobody tells you what it actually looks like. It's not like the vision board shows you all of the messy parts in the middle, or the parts where it feels like everything is either happening all at once or falling apart all at once, and then you have this moment of sheer panic, like, why did I even try to manifest all of this change? I'm telling you right now, if this is something you really want, you will be pushed outside of your comfort zone. Sometimes it looks and feels terrifying, but sometimes it looks and feels like this. And most times you won't be able to prepare or maybe even fathom the shakeups that can come with it. I've had so many deaths and rebirths, Scorpio energy, and I've had moments where I've just had to force myself to give in and trust that everything I've been working toward is on the other side of all this anxiety, fear, and unpredictability. But seriously, no matter how scary it can get, you never know where life will lead you, especially when you're building towards something you truly desire, no matter how fast, how slow, how early, or how late. Building your dream life is not a linear process. It's not some aha moment where everything clicks into place and you can finally breathe and go, cool, I did it. It's more like a series of small, oftentimes mundane moments, laying one brick at a time, stepping back, and reevaluating which bricks you want to lay. It's figuring out what your dream life looks like for you, what your version of success is. It's also staying connected to that vision of what you want and slowly becoming the version of yourself who already has it. There she goes, getting all woo-woo again. I mean, I would think that I sound ridiculous, except for the fact that I'm already living my dream life. In progress, of course. And I kind of, in many ways, unknowingly, have always been building toward it. So I'm excited to share a little bit more around how I got here and what it feels like to be here. And hopefully inspire you to keep going. Update, tweak, change your life however you see fit. Because whether you're aware of it or not, you're already in it. Wait, oh my God, what? How to build your dream life in 3 simple steps. Step 1, dream it. And then write it all down. Get specific now and don't leave anything out. Then revisit it, often. Study it as though it's your life's roadmap. Your North Star, if you will. Do whatever you must to hold that vision. Make a vision board. Update it as you see fit. But please note, this is not the time to obsess over how and when things will happen. Dreams do not typically manifest overnight. Okay, let me get real for a second. Building your dream life is absolutely possible, but being able to envision it and then believe in what even is possible for you is really important. And not only does it look different for every single person, it also takes time. Time to build the vision, build the stamina, build the trust. I didn't even realize until I kind of blinked that I had been building my dream life my whole life, brick by brick, step by step, year by year. And when I think back to when I first started this whole journey, I think I remember writing down like what my version of success was. And at the time that was getting paid to be creative. And I was a graphic designer at the time. It was also having complete freedom over my schedule. And it was being financially stable so that eventually Derek and I could start a family and feel comfortable living this life. And then over time, like a lot of time, that dream started to evolve and change. And it all really started with one small step toward this direction. This is the long, big picture. This is the one tiny step I can take to get there. I kind of view this way of being, I guess is what you could call it, as more of a practice, because it's a commitment every day. And you're basically just jumping into an abyss of the unknown, unfamiliar, unproven. I didn't start off by wanting to get paid to travel. Maybe in my wildest dreams, that would be cool. But at that time, it was not even on my radar. Good morning from my free hotel stay in Tokyo. Even though I'm pretty comfortable in that messy middle and I'm literally in a messy hotel room, the messy is also really fun sometimes. This is actually a Disney resort hotel, the My Hamaview Hotel. I actually did more of an exchange, like hotel room for video for this particular situation because I kind of want to start adding more of this content to my portfolio. Obviously now I'm with child, so I feel like since Derek and I are Disney adults, it kind of is a fun transition into like, well, what does that look like with a child? Like, what are we going to be like as Disney parents? Anyway, I'm super grateful to be here and I'm excited that I have the opportunity to do stuff like this for a living. Okay, that's it. I'm signing off from Disneyland Resorts.
Now let's move on to step 2. Take action. Now that you've gotten clear on your visions, you can't expect to have all your dreams come true simply because you will it to happen. You must become the individual who already has your dream life. Who are you in this dream life? What do you do day to day? You will need to seize every moment and also put in the work, even when it doesn't feel the least bit glamorous.
Okay, so crazy story. Obviously, we've moved. Everything kind of happened on a whim. We're still kind of in the process of moving. This is the most done room. Let's see, how did this even start? I feel like it wasn't on our radar to move, right? And then
I didn't really want to.
you didn't want to move. You didn't want to move. I didn't want to move, but obviously now we are also preparing to add an addition to our family. So
What?
they know, okay, they know. My mom sent us a listing like, hey, have you seen this place? It's like down the street from your house. And then I went to see it.
This is when I was like, oh no, we're moving.
Okay, but we hadn't even seen it yet.
I know, but once I knew you were gonna like it, and when you like it, things happen and things work out.
We are moving, have moved, and let me tell you, this move has been, it's been testing us a lot. We haven't had water at this house. Like, we have not had running water at the new house for about 3 days. Waiting for Derek to come pick me up again this morning because I have to pee and we still don't have water. I guess we're not gonna get water for like another day. Like, everything still feels in between and it is just like chaotic and messy and like it's starting to get to me. To top it all off, I had a little trip to the ER. Weirdly, I feel kind of relieved about it, but I have gallstones, which like means that you can have flare-ups because the gallbladder produces bile, which like breaks down fatty foods. And like all I've been doing, like when we were in Japan, moving, all I've been doing is eating fatty foods. So pretty significant wake-up call. I have like changed my diet completely in the midst of this move, but that was kind of like a fun little trip in the middle of moving. I'm grateful for Derek in this kind of situation. I feel like we both have good attitudes. We're both like very level-headed. We, like I didn't panic when we went to the ER. I felt, like I said, relieved that there was some sort of thing that I could make some changes with. And then hopefully our water comes back today. It's a Christmas miracle. Okay, ready? Oh my God. Ugh, what a time. The last place never felt like we were fully settled in it, and it ended up being one of like a place that we've lived in like the longest together. And like
3 years and 2 months, yeah.
I never felt like that place we ever like set up shop or like set up our home properly because I was already like ready to like move, which
it took us
funny.
2 years to put shit up on the walls.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's funny that like we were so reluctant to move, knowing that like it was a temporary home and ended up being one of the places we stayed the longest. I feel like we're built different.
Well, we've done a lot in the last, 3-4 years.
We have.
Traveled, lived remotely, put all of our shit in storage.
Yeah.
Like, we've done a lot.
We've done a lot. But we're here now. I'm like so happy.
Yeah, I'm happy too. Feels nice.
It does feel nice.
And finally, step 3. Crash out. Is that what the children are saying these days? This is the stage where you are very likely to hit a wall, contemplate life, perhaps even experience an existential breakdown. Stay strong, my flower. Even the most beautiful roses bloom after the harshest winters. Adversity is a key ingredient in gaining important perspective. So fear not. This is all part of the process.
I feel like it's good to document the date, right? Today is January 24th, 2026. I'm trying to dump out my feelings so that I have real thoughts in real time about what is going on with me and Derek right now. So Derek and I have been trying to get pregnant for a year and a half at this point, maybe a little bit longer than that. And whenever I tell people that, I feel like their first instinct is to be like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Which I so appreciate, but it's been weird because I'm kind of neutral as much as I have been kind of like frustrated because we're told really early on, like how easy it can be to have a baby or whatever, like when we're young, right? And to like use protection and all these things. And then like as you get older, then like things change, obviously. And it's been a weird journey because I either have friends that are completely like in the family world, like they have kids, and then I've had friends who have really, really struggled, and it's been a hardship for them. They've, friends that have had multiple miscarriages, or friends that have gone through so much trauma, so much work to have a baby. And I'm somewhere in between where like the lives that Derek and I have built with each other, we love our lives. I love my life. Like I have a lot of autonomy. I have so much privilege that I have autonomy and freedom. Obviously it took me a lot of work to get here because I own a business and I'm a content creator. We've worked really hard over the last decade to set up as many little income streams as we can to just like sustain this lifestyle because I love my freedom and autonomy. We've really enjoyed that. I think there have been moments where we weren't sure, not like we weren't sure if we wanted to have kids, but like we really contemplated whether we wanted to have kids because we loved our lives so much, you know what I mean? It's easy to not have a kid when you are like living a life that you really enjoy, right? It's been an interesting journey because I, again, have not felt like this deep burning desire to like intensively try to get pregnant, you know what I mean? It probably sounds like I don't want a kid, right? But I think it's just hard when like I'm 38 years old, when you're living your life, you have your routines, you have your structure and everything like set up. I travel a lot. Like I travel like 2 months out of the year for my job. It starts to make you think about like, well, what would happen in that case, even though we are actively trying to get pregnant. Whenever it'd be that time of the month and I would get my period, I would simultaneously be like bummed out that I wasn't pregnant and like also like weirdly excited, like, or not excited, but like relieved. So 2 days ago, I had been tracking my chart or my cycle, and I noticed that my body's feeling a little different. I can just tell there's like a little bit of a difference. And so I started like kind of looking back at my cycle and analyzing it, realizing that I'm approaching the point at which my period is going to be late. I started to like freak out internally and think like, well, what if I'm pregnant? Like, what if I am pregnant? Oh my God, what if I'm pregnant? And I started to literally freak out. This was I said 24th today. It was the 22nd. Oh, hold on. Derek's going to buy me noodles. I want pho. Oh my God, hold on. I had palpable anxiety all fucking day. Like my heart was beating. I identified that my fear was in this like perceived loss of the freedom and autonomy that I have in the life that I've built. I was freaking out over this idea that obviously our lives would change if I'm pregnant. It'll change. What does this mean for the career that I've set up for myself? Then I like thought about it, sat back, took a breath and realized like, my mom, my grandmother, my grandma she was a boss. So was my mom. Grandma had a whole ass career and then retired and then started the Japanese program at Alice Al High School in Salinas, which we say has become the benchmark for a lot of Japanese programs throughout the entire United States. She did that while being a military wife, while my grandfather was in the army and deployed and taking care of 2 children. My mom, same. She was kind of like the breadwinner growing up, and she was always at work. She was always working. My dad was always at home. And she only continued to grow in her career. And now she is also retired and is probably busier than I've ever seen her in my entire life. And she's about to be 70 this year. So I have no reason to believe that I wouldn't be able to continue to progress in my career. If anything, adding a child gives me more perspective, right? Like creates more depth in how I'm building and becoming and showing up in the world. And I think that realization was really strong for me because I realized I don't have to sacrifice my dreams. I know like when you're jumping into any unknown, regardless of whether it's like having children or not, it can be really scary because change is scary because you have no idea what to expect and you have no idea how it's going to go. Like I'm so lucky. And so I couldn't sleep because I was thinking about all these crazy things like, well, I have to get rid of, like, we don't have room for a baby. Again, I'm not pregnant at this point. I'm like, what the heck? I think I like probably fell asleep at like 5 a.m. I woke up at 10 in the morning and immediately took a pregnancy test because that was the first day of my missed period, right? And as I'm sitting there waiting, I see the word pregnant written on the stick that I peed on. I didn't freak out. I was like in disbelief and I was like relieved and like happy, but like a calm happy. And then I went and I told Derek and then I started crying. But it's weird, right? It's like I haven't been so strong in my conviction of like wanting a child, trying to have a child. I changed and I realized having a baby, starting a family would not hinder me in any way. It actually like burst me open. It like opened up a part of me that I didn't know I could access or was there. I was not expecting to cry, but I think it's been a long time coming. I think our families are going to be so happy and excited. Obviously, we're so happy and excited. And the reaction was just like, that's what was so crazy is that I had this like mini, like not a panic attack, not a full on panic attack, but I was freaking the fuck out, bro. Like I was freaking out over this idea of potentially having a child. I'm just like now committed to like showing up more in that regard because one of my big goals this year is to really get serious about my YouTube channel, is to really like get serious and branch outside of being a travel content creator, becoming more of an artist, really, because I like to create funny skits. Like I like comedy. I am really into videography. I've always been. So I'm just excited to kind of like go for it this year. And now really nothing's holding me back. If anything, I have everything, not riding on it, but all the motivation in the world because I'm going to have a baby. I will make some sacrifices, right? But it's not going to come at the cost of what my dreams are, what I'm trying to build. Anyway, I'm pregnant. And that is so weird to say. And I can't tell anyone about it. So I guess when you see this, you'll see this. Surprise. Okay, bye. Bye. I got to get off. Bye. This has definitely been an interesting trip, a humbling trip. I've been forced to listen to like my body over my head, and I feel like my mind is trying to make me feel bad for needing to slow down, dealing with my body physically changing in like so many ways all at the same time. But this has also forced me to like stay present and just enjoy this last trip with just me and Derek before we have a baby, because the next time I'm in Japan, we'll have a kid. But also being here while being pregnant has been really interesting to reflect on, amazing to reflect on, because I grew up coming here my whole life, like in so many moments of my life when I was a child, in my teen years, adolescent years, post-college, for college, and post-college, and then even getting to live here with Derek a few years ago. So it's kind of cool to think about kind of how things will be different when we come here with our daughter and being able to share with her all the memories that I had growing up and helping her connect with Japan in the way that I have. So yeah, all in all, I'm feeling super grateful, but it's just been a different trip, different than I had expected. And that's okay.
Now that you have this incredibly simple formula, you can rinse and repeat as necessary. Now go out and build your dreams with gumption and grace. I believe in you.